Hi, I'm recording on my Zoom app because I thought this would be of interest to new students, people who are going back to college. And so I am signed up to start classes October 27th, and that'll be at SNU or Southern New Hampshire University. So I'm going to be opening up some pages here. Let me just get um, before I share this, let me find, I'm freezing already. Hold on a second. That wasn't good. I was freezing. Testing, testing. Okay, let me minimize this. And I'm going to open up my internet to get to log into Southern New Hampshire University. So here we go, my SNHU. So I kind of wanted to go over navigating um, the SNHU site and show you a little bit of what I'm seeing. Did I somehow lose this here? Let's look. It says launch. No, here we go. I don't know why I'm doing that, but I'm going to share my screen. So let me go over to here. That's not it. Let me go back here. Share. Okay, I've got the printer open. That's not. This is I'm experiencing technical difficulties trying to do this. Oh Lord. See, I'm supposed to have, here we go. All right, all right. Now I get the right screen. Oh God. Let me pull this back up again and try. All right, now I'm going to try to share the right screen. Okay, side by side. We'll do a side by side thing. Here we go. That works. Lord have mercy. That's much better. Okay, so this is the Southern New Hampshire University website. Um, when you first log in, um, it's a different page than this. But once you're logged in, and maybe I should show that, but I'm afraid I'm going to lose. Let's see. Let's try again. So let's just search like we don't have the login page. So SNHU login. Here's the Southern University site. And then you'll see online campus. I don't know if you're seeing this or not. You are screen sharing. Yes, I am. Okay. So then you're going to click on online campus. And that's what it brings you to that same page that we just went to. So on this page, you'll see something called Bright Space. It's these little dots here. You're going to click on that. And then you will see, as soon as it loads, the classes that you're enrolled in. There we go. So welcome. So I am starting out, my first course is going to be English 190. It's Research and Persuasion. I was told that this is a good class to start if you've been out of school for a while, because it'll teach you APA format or MLA, whichever one you're using. And it's going to help you write papers, because a majority of what you're going to be doing when you go back to school, I'm going back to school for my bachelor's, is going to be research papers. So I've been a nurse for 26 years. When I went to nursing school, I started late in life and I had 5 children. So as you can imagine, I went and did the associate's level, and that was enough for me, because it wasn't going to make a bit of a difference whether I had a bachelor's. It wouldn't make a difference in my pay. So and I had enough of it. It was really difficult on my family. All I did was study. And then as I was going for my LPN portion, um, or I mean, once I got the LPN license, I worked as an LPN while going for the RN. So I was especially busy. So on this learning modules, you're going to see start here. And I already did this. It's going to give you the syllabus. It's going to tell you about the program, kind of give you a general education map, and then a welcome letter. It's going to give you this Macmillan Achieve tutorial videos, and that's, I believe this is the book. No, that's not it. This is how to register for your book. So the book is actually, you can look under, oh, well, no, this is not where you find it, but this is basically the video on how to find your book. So going back to that one screen, that part, there we go. I'm going back to research and persuasion, and this is telling you a little bit about what the course is going to be about. It's basically to conduct a research project for writing situations. So let me go back to where course menu is. I don't want to dig into each of these and get real in depth about it, because that's not the purpose of this. This gives you pretty much on the left-hand side, it starts with the overview of the course. It's going to give you bookmarks here where if you save bookmarks, you can add it and you'll view it here. This is the course schedule and based off of the calendar. And then, like I said, it's all these things under the first tab. And I've not watched all of this yet. I've been trying to learn how to navigate what's going to be required of me first. So under module number 1, we're going to do a discussion, and I have not started this yet for using research. And there's going to be a breakdown of how you get your points for this. That's called the discussion rubric, is one of the things that we do. So besides writing the paper, we're going to have a discussion. So on the first thing here, the overview is you actively participate in the discussions, and that's part of your part of the actual class requirements. And so in the initial post, we're going to write a post of 1 to 2 paragraphs, and then that has to be submitted by the initial post by that Thursday. In modules 2 to 8, then it talks about what else you're going to do. So again, I'm not getting deep into this, but it shows you how you're rated. And so that you make sure when you're doing these things that are your requirements, you're actually hitting on each key point that they want you to. So let's go back to this page again, because I wanted to show you under your courses, when you click on one, it's going to give you the tools that you have available, the course menu. Like I said, your announcements go here, learning modules, discussions, and assignments. And then this is to navigate to the home page, the online bookstore, and your email. And then the Shapiro Library, and that's where you're going to find a lot of your research articles. I have kind of looked ahead to the articles that they had to select our research question that we want to pose. And so I've been kind of navigating through here. What did I do? Let me grab those papers real quick. So when I first decided on what I was going to write about, or what I would like to write about, because I've not done the research yet to pose my question completely. But it was a personal thing for me, because I'm a nurse manager, and I work at an outpatient surgical center right now. And so my job was discussing going from a 4-day work schedule to a 5-day work schedule. And so Most of my staff is against that, but it may come to that at one point. And so I figured, why not dig into this so that I have some information to present if all the staff is in agreement that they don't want to go that route, and if, admin will listen to us. So one of the things that I was turned on to that has been very helpful in answering a lot of questions, because I discovered it from a recommendation of one of my coworkers. Actually, she's an employee, Chat GPT. Now, you don't want to use it to write your research paper because they will, I guess there's a watermark and they'll find out you did that and you will get in big trouble. So what I researched was, because when I first was navigating this Shapiro library, and I'm going to go to that now, I'll go to the homepage. I had great difficulty trying to find what I was looking for, and I didn't think I was wording it rightly. So that's not even a word. When you do a search string, so it's pulling from a bunch of databases. I think that what I've been going on here and looking for some articles, I was not wording it right. So let's see if I can show you how I found some articles, because I did it earlier, but you know how that is. Sometimes you forget how you got there. So 4-day work week. And then you can do advanced search. And it's going to, here we go. I'm going to put it in here. So if you see here, it's going to give you options to include more information. And then I want to find peer reviews, so scholarly articles in a full text. And there was also another thing that said, here we go, past 5 years. It has to be all your things, your research articles have to be within the past 5 years. So, and I'm hoping this helps somebody, because I remember when I was in nursing school, when I was a student, and I would come across things that I felt were valuable information that I would hopefully, hold on, how did I lose that screen? That hopefully, had I written it down, it might have helped somebody, but I didn't do that because I was too busy. And I'm hoping that's not the case now, that I'm still able to help people. So let's go back here, because I lost where I'm at and I'm not going to dig around looking for the fields. Here we go. So right now I have the 4-day work week. Now, if I wanted to narrow it down, that's where I had that advanced one. Let's see if I can find that again. Relevance. You want the newest stuff. You can click on that. Oh, it's a lot of articles. But see, I want to, and I don't see, I lost how I got in that page. Where I had the advanced one. Let me look, see if I can find that again. Oh, Jesus. Let me X out of this. That's not what I want. That's not what I want. Not what I want. Here we go. This is what I wanted. That has the end. So because then you can narrow it down to exactly what you're looking for. So what I was hoping to find, 4-day work week, right? 4-day work week. All right. And then I want it to be, I'm hoping I can find articles that are on ambulatory care or versus 5-day work week. So I'm going to put versus, we'll put that first, 5-day work week, and then and ambulatory care or outpatient. So we're going to search. So I think before getting into the nitty gritty of actually going and once you decide that the article that you want to pick from the recommendations that they gave you for research topics, then I think you should just kind of like go and look under these papers and see if you can formulate a question that you want to research. And because basically it's going to be, I'm going to do 50, and we're going to do the relevance is going to be the newest. And let's see what they pull up. Oh, 25 results. Well, that's interesting because when I first put it in without that specification in it, it was like 22,000 articles. Okay, so this article that first pops up is from 2025, Work-Directed Interventions in Primary Care Among Patients on Sickness, Absence Due to Common Mental Disorders. Now, that has nothing to do with what I'm looking at. So obviously the end part, I'm going to get rid of this primary care stuff. And we're just going to do ambulatory care. See, this is what's helpful. Let's do ambulatory care. Because then you're seeing, oh no, it's not reading what I'm saying. Ambulatory care. And it may not do, or maybe I should do outpatient surgical centers. Outpatient. And I might not find articles. And that's, what's interesting. Let's try and see what that does. One result. Behind the clock, elucidating factors contributing to longer clinic appointment duration and wait time. Nope. So obviously, we're probably not going to find specific ones on outpatient surgical centers. But I think we may find stuff on the 5-day work week versus the 4-day. So let's try that. Got to think about it. And my computer may be a little slow, so I apologize. Here we go. We have 160. Now we want to put them in the newest first, because hopefully that will be the most up-to-date information that I can choose from, because I'm sure there's been studies a little further back that maybe weren't as accurate, or not that they weren't accurate, but as updated. Okay, so let's read these titles here. So that doesn't look like this is about Sri Lanka. That wouldn't be us. Let's see here. And then I think that the world needs this. Results of reduced 4-day work week pilot in a small nonprofit organization. So purpose to present, the present study offers a qualitative evaluation of a community-led reduced work week pilot in a small nonprofit organization in Canada. And we're going to find a little bit more about this. So full-time staff members underwent a 1-year trial, reducing their work from 35 hours in 5 days to 32 hours in 4 days without a change in salary. Data were collected from 5-time points through focus groups, a semi-structured interview with the leader, online surveys, and internal document review. Data recommendation themes. Overall, staff and the leader found the 4-day work week to be a major success, noting improvements in work-life balance, and that's what I wanted to show. Efficiency and time management strategies and workplace attitudes without any change to the quality of work being produced. That's interesting, huh? So that could be something I want to save. So I'm going to put a little bookmark on that. And then we're going to scroll down to the next one. And this one is about what? 4 decades? No, that's not what we're looking for. Optimizing heritage railway, impact of remote working. No. Riding passion wave, impact indoor quality. Oh, this is nothing what I'm looking for. I wonder what happened there. Why? Maybe I have to do versus spelled out. Versus. Or compared to. Or maybe I just do 5-day instead of all that. Let's try that. Sometimes I think you have to just make it very simple. The key is finding articles like it really has everything to do with your wording. I did do some saving a little bit earlier, but I wanted to explore some more. Okay. I think the world needs the results of reduced. We did that one. Okay. Time, work in the office, and shop. Workers' strategic adaptation to the 4-day work week. That sounds good. So let's see. Um, this was actually a study on white collar workers during COVID pandemic, and it was a small business study. So they basically went from a 5-day work week to a 4-day one. Let's see. Schedule and communication, block and work, to reflect increasingly sense of, I don't think that's what I'm looking for. I did want to click over on the Save tab for a second. Hopefully I can get back just to see if I had actually saved the articles I did earlier that I was marking. Records. Save records. Yay, it did it. 3 of them it saved. Okay, I didn't find a lot. And honestly, I'm not even sure how many articles I'm going to need. But I do know this, that one of the things that's going to be important in posing this research question, because I'm trying to persuade people to my point of view, is that I have to have another article that shows the opposite findings. Like, because there's going to be, I guess, during the peer conversations that we have, I have to have responses to their rejections. I don't know if that's the right word, but like their opposition to thinking this is a good thing. See, now we're back to 21,000 articles. So we'll go back to the newest. I don't know how we did that, but yes, when I try to narrow it down, we got a lot better, but it wasn't accurate. And 5-day work week. That's a lot of articles. All right. So anyway, you pretty much see what I'm talking about here. I'm not going to spend my time doing my actual homework to teach you this, but I wanted you to see how to utilize that Shapiro library, because when I first tried to use it, I didn't have any success because I wasn't sure how to put the wording in. So when I put this information that I was looking for to find out how do I find find more relevant articles, and the question, and basically they said to dig further into outpatient specific research comparing a 4-day versus 5-day week, you should search using these strategies. So they did search strings, 4-day work week or 4-day work week, and they put one with a dash and one spelled out, one with a number, or compressed work week and outpatient clinic, outpatient healthcare, and there was other things like 5-day work week. So let's see, and 5-day work week. Let's see, do and ambulatory care, ambulatory, because I can basically search under any kind of work week, not in the healthcare field and definitely not in outpatient care. But the whole purpose of me doing this research, besides getting my grade and working towards my bachelor's, is that I would like to utilize this information should we have to go to a 5-day work week. And I would like to say, hey, this is probably not the best choice because da da da. Anyway, if you look here right now, some articles have come from 2021. So I'm going to do the newest ones again. It seems like every time I try to go to another screen, it's losing that data. So again, this was the one. Oh, this is interesting. Why is it talking about air quality? Oh, because it pulled up the outpatient care, work stress, air pollutants. Do you see how it changes stuff? And so maybe sometimes not being specific, so we're not going to put that, is a better choice, because then you get all kinds of other things that it's pulling on. Anyway, I'm going to try to, every time I'm in here doing some homework, I'm going to try to show you the new things that I learned. And I wanted to share a little bit on the side note, besides showing the navigation, and I kind of did this out of order. I really didn't give you much of background, except that I have been out of school 26 years. But I also really wanted to say that when I was posed with the thought of having to do this, I hemmed and hawed and I put it off. We've been under a new corporation now for a couple of years, and we were supposed to transition right away. We were told we had 3 years to do it, and I have held off 2 years. I guess it's been 2 years. I did not register at all for at least a year, and then I've been pushing off starting classes for 5 times. I did it 5 times, so this is the fifth time, and I'm actually going to do it this time. Um, I was, I think I was hesitant because I've been out of school for so long, but it's also because I had a learning disability, still have a learning disability. I was in special ed to the seventh grade with because of dyslexia and attention deficit disorder. I've never been treated on it until recently, and that has really changed my outlook on starting this class. Um, I really, most of my life, I felt dumb despite going to school and getting straight A's. And it's because you just get that mindset with having to really work to learn. And it's because I could not focus on what I was reading. That was the biggest thing. I would read a sentence 5 times over, and I learned to work around that and not even absorb it. So, like, I would read it out loud, and that would help me. So, I was going to ask for accommodations because I would qualify for it, but I have never had an IEP. Back when I was in school, as in elementary school, they didn't have those things. So I reached out to my nurse practitioner and I asked her what she could do to accommodate me. Like, could she write a note? Like, what should I do? And she suggested that I would try Adderall. Now, I've heard horrible things about it, but at this point, I was thinking I had better do something. So, no joke, first day within about an hour of taking it, I I mean, what a transformation I had just from one pill that really changed things for me. It was, and I say, I felt like I was a battery dying. And then all of a sudden, when I took that pill, I was plugged into power because, and ever since I've been on it, and I'm on like the minimum dose, it's the extended release, I think it's 20 milligrams. I have been able to read and comprehend without struggling. I can't, I kid you not. I wish to God I had done this years ago. It had gotten so bad lately that I have been forgetting names, just having a lot of memory issues, and it was very concerning for me. So after the second day of being on it, I actually got kind of excited that I mean, because I remember back when I was in school, even though it was crazy, with having 5 small children going to school, and running my husband's 5 businesses, um, that I did have an excitement about learning. I do like learning, and I didn't remember that I actually enjoyed learning. So it was very exciting. And then I actually started looking into, well, if I can actually pull this off, maybe I should continue because school is being paid for by my organization. So I actually had started using the chat GPT to put in like what my my mission statement is in my job, kind of like what my personality, what master's degree program would fit my personality best, because you don't want to spend years of going to school only to never use it or to hate your job. So I actually like what I do, which is um, refreshing. Most of my nursing career in the beginning, I was in critical care. And even though I was a really good ICU nurse and I love taking care of patients, it was not a good fit for me. I felt like my stomach was in knots all the time, because those are very sick patients. And then I started in leadership. Um, this is my fourth leadership position, but specifically in endoscopy. And I love it. I love it. And when I'm away from it for any reason, like I had back surgery last year, I forgot how much I missed it till I was actually working. I was like, oh my God, I do love this job. So I'm going to pursue that. Lord willing, knock on wood, right? All right, I'm going to cut this short because I actually have to do some studying. But I wanted to come on here and encourage you to not be overwhelmed, to remember that you did once graduate. You did go to school. You have your associates, you have your bachelor's, whatever it is that degree that you have. You were able to do that, and you're the same person, and you will be able to do it again. So, baby bites, take it slowly. Don't let yourself get overwhelmed. Be encouraged, and every day tell yourself that. Hope this helps someone. I'm going to stop sharing and end this Zoom. Thank you for joining me. I hope that your journey is pleasant and that I can help you along the way as I help myself.